Hello and welcome back, everyone. Tell me if this sounds like your life. Do you ever feel like your days are too busy? Do you feel tired but not sure why? Do you feel distracted and find it hard to focus? If yes, you are not alone. Most people want to improve their lives. They want to feel healthier. They want better daily habits. They want to use their time more wisely. They want to feel more confident in themselves. But they wait. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until life gets less busy. They wait until they feel more ready. That moment rarely comes. Here is something worth thinking about. The biggest changes in life rarely come from one big decision. They come from small actions repeated every single day. One of the simplest and most powerful daily habits is reading. Not for hours, not with any special talent or skill, just a few quiet minutes each day. That small commitment, done consistently, can change how you think, how you feel, and how you see the world around you. Today, we are going to explore exactly what daily reading can do for your life over time. Let's get into it. Lesson 1. Why daily reading is more important than most people think. Most people know that reading is good for them, but most people still don't do it. Not regularly, not daily, not with real focus. Why? Because life is busy. Because screens are everywhere. Because entertainment is easy and reading feels like work. We live in a world full of distractions. Your phone buzzes. A new video appears. A short clip makes you laugh. Then another one starts automatically. Before you know it, 1 hour has passed. You were entertained, but you learned very little. This is the world most of us live in today. Short content is designed to grab your attention fast. It gives you something quickly and then moves on. Your brain gets a small reward. Then it wants another one. And another. This pattern feels good in the moment, but it does not build anything inside you. Reading is completely different. When you read, your brain does not just receive information. It works. It processes words. It builds images in your mind. It connects new ideas to things you already know. Reading is active. Scrolling is passive. When you scroll, your brain is mostly watching. When you read, your brain is participating. That difference is very important. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you don't use a muscle, it becomes weak. If you exercise it regularly, it grows stronger. Reading is exercise for your mind. Every page you read makes your brain work a little harder. Every new idea you encounter stretches your thinking. Every story you follow builds your focus and imagination. But here is what many people misunderstand. You do not need to read for hours every day. You do not need to finish thick books every week. Small daily sessions are enough. 10 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes before bed, a few pages during your lunch break. These small moments add up. 1 page a day becomes 365 pages a year. That is 1 or 2 full books. Learn slowly, quietly, without pressure. The people who read a little every day are not special. They are not smarter than you. They simply made one small decision and kept it. That decision changed how they think. It changed how they speak. It changed how they see the world. I know this because I experienced it myself. Reading did not change my life in one big moment. It changed my life in many small moments, one day at a time. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about next. Lesson 2. My life before I started reading every day. Let me tell you something honest. Before I started reading every day, my free time looked very different. I had time, plenty of it, but I was not using it well. After work or school, I would sit down and pick up my phone. Just to check a few things, I told myself. But a few minutes became 30 minutes. 30 minutes became 2 hours. I scrolled through videos. I read short posts online. I watched content that I forgot almost immediately. And when I finally put my phone down, I felt strange, not rested, not happy, just empty. I had spent all that time and I had nothing to show for it. No new skill, no new idea, no real feeling of progress. I also felt mentally tired. Not the tired you feel after doing something meaningful. The tired you feel after doing nothing useful for a long time. My concentration was getting worse. I noticed it slowly. I could not focus on one thing for very long. My mind kept jumping from one thought to another. Sitting quietly felt uncomfortable. Even when I tried to watch a long video or follow a long story, I got distracted quickly. I wanted something faster, something shorter, something easier. That is what constant scrolling had done to my attention. I also felt a quiet boredom that never really went away. It sounds strange, I know. How can you feel bored when you're always looking at your phone? But that kind of boredom is real. It comes from doing things that fill your time without filling your mind. Deep down, I wanted something more. I wanted to feel like I was actually growing. I wanted to feel like my days were moving me somewhere. I wanted to change, but I didn't know how to start. Someone suggested reading. My first reaction was not excitement, it was doubt. I told myself I was too tired at the end of the day. I told myself I didn't have enough time. I told myself I was not the kind of person who reads. Have you ever said something like that to yourself? Looking back, those were just excuses. Comfortable excuses. That kept me exactly where I was. Then one evening, I decided to try. Not a big commitment. Not a promise to read every single day forever. Just one small decision. I picked up a book. I read a few pages. I put it down. That was it. Nothing dramatic happened that night, but something small shifted. I felt a little quieter inside, a little more focused, a little more like myself. And I was curious. What would happen if I did this again tomorrow? Lesson 3. The first few weeks of building the habit. I did not start big. I want to be very clear about that. I did not wake up one morning and decide to read for 1 hour every day. That would have failed immediately. I knew myself well enough to understand that. I started with 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. That was my only rule. I picked the same time each day. For me, it was in the evening, after dinner. The house was quieter. My body was relaxed. It felt like a natural pause in the day. I sat in the same chair. I opened the same book. I read for 5 minutes. That was the whole plan. The first few days felt easy. Almost too easy. 5 minutes passed quickly, and sometimes I kept reading a little longer. That felt good. But then the first difficult moment arrived. One evening I was tired. Not a little tired. very tired. I did not want to read. I did not want to do anything. My old habit was calling me. Just pick up your phone, it said. Just relax, it said. You can skip one day, it said. And I almost listened. But I made a small deal with myself. Just open the book. Just read one paragraph. One paragraph, that's all. So I did. One paragraph became one page. One page became 5 minutes. 5 minutes was enough. I closed the book and felt okay. Not amazing, but okay. And that was enough. This taught me something important. Perfection is not the goal. Consistency is the goal. Missing one day is not failure. Stopping forever is failure. There is a big difference. In the second week, something small started to shift. I noticed I was looking forward to my reading time. Not every single day, but more days than before. It became a quiet moment I could count on. The rest of the day could be busy or stressful or unpredictable. But that small reading moment was mine, calm and steady. By the third week, skipping felt strange, not impossible, but uncomfortable, like something was missing from the day. That feeling told me the habit was beginning to form. I also noticed my focus was slightly better. I could sit with the book a little longer without wanting to check my phone. My mind was learning to slow down. Small wins, nothing dramatic, but real. I also made one important decision during these early weeks. I chose books I actually enjoyed. I chose books I actually enjoyed. Not books I thought I should read. Not the most serious or impressive titles. Just stories and ideas that genuinely interested me. This made a huge difference. When you enjoy what you read, sitting down becomes easier. The habit grows naturally instead of feeling forced. So if you are thinking about starting, please hear this. Start smaller than you think you need to. Pick something you genuinely want to read. Choose a consistent time and place. And when a hard day comes, and it will, just open the book. One paragraph is enough. One page is enough. Showing up is enough. The habit will grow from there. Lesson 5. How reading improves focus and attention. Life today is full of distractions. Your phone buzzes. A notification appears. Someone calls your name. Music plays in the background. Before you know it, your attention is gone. This happens to everyone, and it happens many times each day. Many people try to do several things at once. They eat while watching a video. They text while listening to someone talk. They work while checking social media. This is called multitasking. It feels productive, but it is not. When your brain switches between tasks constantly, it gets tired quickly. It cannot do any single thing well. Over time, your ability to concentrate becomes weaker. You start to feel restless. Sitting still feels uncomfortable. Finishing one task without stopping feels difficult. This is a real problem, and it is growing. But there is something simple that can help. Reading. When you read, you focus on one thing only. One page, one paragraph, one idea at a time. Your brain cannot scroll or skip ahead. It must stay present. It must follow the words carefully. This trains your attention in a quiet but powerful way. Every time you resist the urge to put the book down, you are building focus. Every time you finish a paragraph without checking your phone, you are strengthening concentration. It is like exercise for your mind. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Staying with one task is a valuable skill. In a world full of noise and interruption, the person who can focus deeply has a real advantage. I noticed this in my own life. After reading regularly for a few weeks, I could sit and work longer without feeling distracted. Small tasks that used to feel boring became easier to finish. My mind felt calmer and clearer. Think about work. When you focus on one task completely, you finish it faster. You make fewer mistakes. The result is better. Think about studying. When you read your notes without distractions, the information stays in your memory longer. You understand more deeply. Think about cooking. When you pay full attention, you follow the steps correctly. The meal turns out better. You also feel more present in the moment. Think about driving. A focused driver is a safer driver. One moment of distraction can cause a serious accident. Attention protects you and others. Think about shopping. When you focus on your list and your budget, you make better choices. You spend less. You waste less. In every area of life, focus makes a difference. It helps you do things better. It helps you feel less stressed. It helps you use your time more wisely. Reading is one of the easiest ways to practice this skill daily. You do not need special equipment. You do not need a perfect environment. You just need a book and a few quiet minutes. Start small. 10 minutes a day is enough to begin. Your attention will grow stronger, and that stronger attention will improve everything else you do. Lesson 6. How reading can increase confidence. Have you ever felt unsure of yourself? Maybe you stayed quiet in a conversation, not because you had nothing to say, but because you were not sure your words were good enough. Maybe you avoided a situation because you felt unprepared. That feeling has a name. It is called self-doubt, and almost everyone experiences it. But here is something interesting. Reading can help with that. Not overnight, but slowly and surely. When you read regularly, you learn new things, facts, ideas, stories, different ways of thinking. And knowledge does something powerful. It makes you feel more prepared. When you understand a topic, you feel less afraid of it. When you know how something works, it feels less overwhelming. That feeling of being prepared is the beginning of confidence. Think about a simple daily situation. Someone at work mentions a topic you have read about. You understand what they are saying. You have something to add. So you speak. That small moment matters. It shows you that your voice is valuable, that your knowledge is useful. Reading also gives you more ideas. The more you read, the more connections your brain makes. You start to see things in new ways. You find solutions faster. You think more creatively. Having more ideas makes you feel capable. And feeling capable builds confidence naturally. Another quiet benefit is this. Reading helps you express yourself more clearly. When you read well-written sentences, your own language improves. You find better words for your thoughts. You explain things more easily. People understand you more clearly. And when people understand you, you feel heard. Feeling heard is powerful. I experienced this myself. Before I read regularly, I often stayed quiet in group conversations. I was afraid my thoughts were not interesting enough. But after months of reading, something shifted. I had more to say. I felt more comfortable saying it. Not because I became a different person, but because I felt more prepared inside. Overcoming self-doubt does not happen all at once. It happens in small moments. You share one idea, and it goes well. You answer one question confidently. You explain something clearly to a friend. Each moment adds a small layer of belief in yourself. Layer by layer, confidence grows. Reading supports this process quietly. Every book gives you something new to carry with you. Every article adds to your understanding. Every page makes you slightly more prepared for the world. Confidence is not a gift that some people have and others do not. It is something that grows through experience and knowledge. Reading provides both. So do not focus on how unconfident you feel right now. Focus on progress. Read a little today. Learn something small. Use that knowledge when the chance appears. Notice how it feels. Then repeat. Each small step forward builds the next one. And one day you will look back and realize something important. You became more confident, not through one big moment, but through many small ones. Lesson 7. Simple lessons reading teaches about life. Reading is not only about information, it is about something deeper. Every time you open a book, you are also learning how to live. Not through instructions, through experience. Quiet, personal experience. The first lesson reading teaches is patience. A good book does not rush. It takes time to develop. Characters grow slowly. Ideas build gradually. When you read, you learn to wait. You learn that good things take time to arrive. This is true in books, and it is true in life. When a project feels slow, patience helps. When a relationship needs time to grow, patience matters. Reading trains that muscle quietly. The second lesson is persistence. Some books are not easy. Some chapters are long. Some ideas are complex. But you keep reading. You push through the difficult parts. And eventually, something clicks. You understand. That feeling of pushing through difficulty and arriving at understanding is exactly what persistence feels like in real life. At work, some tasks are hard. Some goals take months. Persistence is what carries you through. Reading practices that same quality every single day. The third lesson is curiosity. A good book always raises new questions. You wonder what happens next. You want to understand a character better. You become interested in a topic you never thought about before. Curiosity makes life richer. It makes ordinary moments more interesting. A curious person finds wonder in simple things. A new plant growing, a conversation with a stranger, an unfamiliar street in your own city. Reading keeps curiosity alive. The fourth lesson is understanding different viewpoints. In books, you meet people who think differently from you. They come from different places. They have different beliefs, different fears, different dreams. You spend time inside their world. You begin to understand why they think the way they do. This transfers into daily life naturally. When a colleague sees something differently, you listen more carefully. When a family member reacts in an unexpected way, you try to understand instead of judge. That understanding makes relationships better. It makes communication easier. It makes you a kinder person. And this connects to the final lesson. Reading makes you more open-minded. The more worlds you explore through books, the less you assume your way is the only way. You become more flexible, more willing to consider new ideas, more comfortable with things that are unfamiliar. These lessons do not come from a teacher giving instructions. They arrive naturally, quietly, through story, through character, through pages turned one at a time. That is the hidden gift of reading. It teaches you about life without ever feeling like a lesson. Lesson 8. Easy reading habits that work for beginners. Many people want to read more, but they do not know where to begin. They think they need hours of free time. They think they need a perfect quiet space. They think reading is only for certain kinds of people. None of that is true. Reading is for everyone. And starting is simpler than you think. Begin with just 5 minutes. Not 1 hour, not 30 minutes. 5 minutes. That is all. Set a timer if it helps. Read until it rings. Then stop. 5 minutes every day is enough to build a habit. Once 5 minutes feels easy, try 10. Let it grow naturally. Never force it. One of the most powerful things you can do is read at the same time every day. Morning works well for many people. Just a few pages with your coffee or tea. Before the day gets busy. Before your mind fills with tasks. Some people prefer reading at night. A few pages before sleep calms the mind. It helps the body relax. Choose a time that fits your life. Then protect it. Keep books or reading materials somewhere visible. On your bedside table, on your kitchen counter, in your bag. When a book is nearby, you are more likely to pick it up. When it is hidden in a drawer, you forget it exists. Visibility matters more than you think. Remove distractions before you start. Put your phone in another room. Turn off the television. Close unnecessary tabs on your computer. Even 5 minutes of focused reading is more valuable than 30 minutes of distracted reading. Create a small, comfortable space for reading. It does not need to be special. A chair near a window. A corner of your sofa with a blanket. A quiet spot in a cafe. When a place feels comfortable, your brain associates it with relaxation and focus. You will want to return to it. Choose topics that genuinely interest you. Do not read something because you think you should. Read something because you actually want to know more. If you love cooking, read about food. If you enjoy travel, read about different countries. If you like stories, find simple novels. Interest makes reading feel easy instead of like a task. Never force long sessions. Long sessions that feel painful create bad memories around reading. Short sessions that feel enjoyable make you want to come back. Always finish feeling like you could read a little more. That feeling brings you back tomorrow. Here is a helpful method called habit stacking. Connect reading to something you already do every day. After you brush your teeth at night, read for 10 minutes. After you finish lunch, read 1 page. After you make your morning drink, read before you check your phone. You already have the existing habit. Just add reading beside it. This makes the new habit easier to remember and easier to keep. Consistency matters far more than quantity. Reading 10 minutes every day beats reading 2 hours once a week. Daily reading keeps your mind engaged. It keeps the habit alive. It builds momentum slowly and steadily. Think about your own day right now. Where could 5 or 10 minutes of reading fit naturally? Find that moment. Protect it. Show up every day. A sustainable reading routine does not need to be impressive. It just needs to be real. Small and consistent always wins. Lesson 9. Common mistakes that stop people from reading regularly. Many people start reading with good intentions, but after a short time, They stop, not because reading is bad, but because they made some common mistakes. Knowing these mistakes can help you avoid them. The first mistake is expecting fast results. Reading is a slow habit. You will not feel smarter after 3 days. You will not see big changes after 1 week. But after several months, you will notice a difference. Be patient. The results are coming. They are just quiet right now. The second mistake is choosing material that is too difficult too soon. Some people start with long, complex books. The language is hard. The ideas are confusing. They feel lost. Then they give up. Start simple. Choose books or articles that feel comfortable. Easy material read consistently beats difficult material abandoned quickly. The third mistake is trying to read too much at once. Some people set unrealistic goals. 1 book every week. 1 hour every day. That sounds impressive, but it creates pressure. Pressure makes reading feel like work. Start small. 10 minutes is enough. 1 chapter is enough. Grow slowly from there. The fourth mistake is comparing your progress to others. Someone finishes 10 books a month. You finished 1. And you feel bad. But that comparison is not fair. Everyone reads at a different pace. Everyone has different amounts of free time. Your progress is yours. Measure it against where you started, not against someone else. The fifth mistake is missing 1 day and then quitting completely. You miss 1 evening of reading. Then you think, I already broke the habit, so you stop. But missing 1 day is normal. Life gets busy. Things happen. 1 missed day does not erase all your progress. Just start again the next day. The habit is still alive. The sixth mistake is chasing perfection. Some people think they must understand every word. They stop to look up every unknown term. Reading becomes slow and frustrating. You do not need to understand everything perfectly. Read for the general meaning. Let some things go. Understanding improves naturally over time. Here is the simple solution for all these mistakes. Lower your expectations at the start. Choose easy material. Read a little every day. Ignore what others are doing. Forgive yourself for missed days. Let go of perfection. Just keep showing up. Patience and consistency will carry you further than motivation alone. Every regular reader once made these same mistakes. The difference is they kept going anyway. You can too. Lesson 10. What 1 year of daily reading can do. Imagine this. Every day for 1 year you read for 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. That is all. After 1 year, something remarkable happens. Not because of one big moment, but because of many small ones. Repeated every day, day after day. Your focus becomes stronger. You can sit with one task longer. Distractions bother you less. Your confidence grows. You have more to say in conversations. You feel more prepared for new situations. Your knowledge expands quietly. You understand the world a little better. You make connections between ideas more easily. Your daily habits improve. Reading becomes natural. Other good habits follow beside it. Your decisions become clearer. You think before you react. You consider different angles before choosing. You feel less rushed inside your own mind. None of these changes happen suddenly. They build layer by layer, week by week, month by month. 1 year from today, You will not be the same person. You will be someone who reads, someone who thinks more carefully, someone who keeps growing. And it all started with 10 minutes a day, small and consistent. That is the most powerful combination there is. The next step is yours. You have reached the end of this lesson. But this is not really an ending. It is a beginning. Today you learn something important. Reading does not need to be complicated. It does not need to take hours. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to happen. Every day. Even for a few minutes. Reading builds your focus. It grows your confidence. It expands your knowledge. It teaches patience and persistence. It quietly improves your life in ways you may not notice right away. But the changes are real, and they are waiting for you. Big results always come from small actions repeated consistently. Not from one perfect session, not from one impressive effort, just from showing up, again and again. So today, find one page, any topic that interests you. Read it. That is your first step. Tomorrow, read another. Stay consistent. Stay curious. Stay patient with yourself. Your reading life starts today, and one page at a time, it will change you.